Hey y'all, it's Casey. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're working on some picture frame molds. I have a photo here I've cut out, and I made a template out of UV resin so that I have a way to cut out the photo to fit the frame. All you do is put your UV resin inside the photo frame there, the mold, and cure it. And then you can use that as a template to cut out your picture. We're using Bone Crafter epoxy resin, some gold foil, some pecking order oyster shells. Yes, this is made for chickens, but this is just oyster shell crushed up. If you don't live near an ocean, this is great to put it in resin. I've been doing this for a long time. It's a great substitute for sandy beaches. I love it. It's really good stuff. And it's super cheap. Okay, so we've got our shell out here. What we're going to do with our shell is we're going to add our resin into it and some colorant. And that's going to be the exterior of our frame. But first we've got to get some clear resin put down and get that photo in the resin. I think we're going to mix up our exterior stuff first here. I've got my gold foil. I'm going to go ahead and slip it off into the cup before I put any resin in. This just seemed to make it easier to get the foil in there without getting all sticky. Putting it in before you add your resin. I think that is an awesome tip. It really is, because see how easy that foil went into the cup. When you've got resin in there, it doesn't want to do that. It wants to fly away. It wants to fight you. It wants to stick to everything because the resin's sticky. You get it on your gloves. It's a disaster. Now, this is cayenne pigment, or cyan. And it's from Let's Resin's new epoxy pigment paste set. I absolutely love that set. I've been using it for everything. You can go from transparent to full color with the colors, and I love that about it. You don't have to make it a deep cayenne. You can make it a very pale. Okay, so first I'm going to mix up these two together, because I've got to get all those rocks down in there wet. And then after I got that all mixed up together, I'm going to add my cyan blue. I'm just going to put a drop. I'm just starting with one drop, just to see how that does, because I don't want it to hide the shells. If I can get my words together, guys. But I don't want it to hide the shells. So we're going to mix it in a little at a time and see if we can't get that blue. But we want to keep it where you can still see the shell. I was a little afraid to go too heavy with it. I wish I'd went heavier, but it turns out absolutely stunning. So I'm going to add a little more. This time I'm going to put about the same amount. Just a good drop. And that's where I'm going to leave it at. It's really pretty color right now. I love that color right now. Really pretty. But I feel like it needs a little something extra. So I am going to add a little something to it to get it to where I want it to be. I was thinking on it, and I decided to go with some glitter. And I'm trying to clean up as I go, because I've got little pebbles everywhere. And I don't want any marks on my photo in the front, so I've got to make sure it's clean. So I've wiped it off with the alcohol wipe. Now I'm pouring in my clear resin. I have ran this through the bubble remover Bondcrafter has this absolutely fantastic bubble remover they just released. If you don't have one, get one. They are amazing. I've got a discount code, CWV20, saves you 20% off of it too. Bondcrafter.com, guys, go to get one. They are awesome. And they're on sale right now too, so on top of the sale, you get the 20% off. You can't beat the price right now. Now, I'm just using the heat gun to blow out any extra air bubbles that might have been in there and to spread my resin. Mainly to spread my resin because it was crystal clear. Now I'm going to put my picture frame straight down on there. And I'm just going to tap it. And I'm trying to make sure that there ain't no air bubbles underneath it. This is a hard thing to do, to prevent air bubbles. Most of the time I would have wiped the picture down with resin and then laid it down into the resin, but it was a little bigger than what I'm usually working with when it comes to photos, so I tried this technique to just lay it down onto the resin and tap it. It worked pretty well, but there was a couple little places that needed fixing. No big deal. Fixed them, no issues. But here we are back to the colored resin. I'm putting blue glitter in. I knew it needed a little something extra, something sparkly in there. And the sparkle just enhanced it so much at the end. It really did. The glitter did a fantastic job. Now we're just going to get that all mixed up and we're going to put it in our picture frame now. And this stuff is thick and it's hard to pour. You pretty much have to spread it. And I was just going to keep it in the exterior frame, but I ended up over pouring into the frame. So I decided just to put it on the back of the picture as well, hoping that the color didn't bleed through the photo. Because I'm telling you right now, I did not seal this photo. This photo is printed and it's there. I mean, it's just the way it came. I did not do anything to this photo to seal it. And that was a risk I was willing to take because I wanted to see how it would do. And that also was a risk I was taking with the new blue pigment because I didn't know how well that one's going to bleed into other things. But it did really well. I had no issues. And I had to mix up a little bit more. This one's a little bit different shade that I put on the back. Right now we're just getting the first cup out. But I did have to mix up a little bit more to get the back of it covered. The part that I mixed up the second time around, I did not put no glitter in though. But it is a little more blue. And I wish I'd went with the amount of blue that I put in the second one and the first one. See how much bluer that is? See, it's so pretty. That color is just gorgeous. But that's okay. I love it the way it came out. I'm not complaining at all. This is just to cover up the back, spread it together, and get it done so that we can work on the legs. We got to pour those legs next. Getting all of my resin out of these cups. Don't like to waste resin around here. It's not easy to dispose of anyways. It turns hard as it cures. So it's not like something you can pour down the drain. Do not ever pour resin down your drain. Not part A, not part B. Definitely not part A and B. Okay, we're getting our resin over here. Putting it over into that dirty cup that's had that blue and the rocks in it. I didn't figure it mattered at this point. We're just making the legs. And it doesn't. But I want to show you how pretty this blue comes out by itself. It is just the prettiest blue. I love this blue. Look at that. It's like a Smurf blue. Okay, now that we got our legs poured, we're going to move on to part 2. I had to do something with that blue. I was not going to waste it. So I ended up making a purple. I added a little red to it and made a purple. And I'm going to pour the legs with that purple that I made. I did the same thing on this. I made a template out of UV resin. And I'm telling you, that's the way to go, guys. Pour you some UV resin around the inside edge of your picture frame. And cure that. And then you got yourself a perfect template to cut out. Because this is wavy and curvy. And, you know, if you want your photo to fit in there perfectly, use that, the UV resin tip. Very good idea. It saved my butt. Because it's hard to make templates. It really is. And that was an easy template. Now I'm going to pour me some more clear UV resin down in here. I'm getting low on resin and I've still got quite a bit to do. So we're going to go with a super thin layer of resin. And we're going to take our heat gun and we're going to blow it around like we did the last one. And this is just eliminating any air bubbles that could have formed. And it's just spreading it out to make sure it gets in all of the areas that it needs to touch. To make sure all of my area is covered with resin. Okay. Now that I've done that, it's time to add our photo in. We're just going to take our photo and slide it into the resin. Do the same thing. We're going to tap it. And we're going to try to make sure that there's no air bubbles. We'll make sure all the resin is touching the photo. And hopefully this works. And it does. It works very well. I had one spot on this one that I had to fix. No biggie. Just a drop of UV resin and it was fixed. And then I mixed up some more of that purple color. And we're putting it around the outside edge of this tray. Where I was trying to do the same thing, just getting it in the outside edge. And then I was going to back it another way, but I ended up just doing it the same way as the first one and just backing it with these stones. I didn't have much resin to work with at this point, so I was really trying to be conservative with the stones and stretch them out as far as I could. Because I've got to get it all the way around this tray, or photo frame. And then I've got to get the back covered up as well. Because we can't leave it like that. This was a fun project to make. It really was. I loved this project. My friend Kathy, this is her grandchildren. She's raising her 2 grandboys, and she brought me a couple photos because I said, Kathy, I need some pictures. I need something to put in resin to do a video. I said, do you have a couple photos of the boys I could use? And so she rounded up a couple photos, brought them over, perfect for these. And I made them, and she took them home on her birthday. She was in love with them. She was so excited about them when they got done. Bless her heart. I'm glad she loved them as much as she did. I think they turned out beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we've got all of our resin out now. There's absolutely no more resin for me to play with. So we're going to let this cure and come back 24 hours and see what the wonder of resin did. Okay, here we are. Let's get these unmolded. It's been 24 hours. It is time to take these bad boys out of their mold. They come out rather easy, but they still got a little firm grip on them because of the way the mold's made. But you can see my resin is still quite soft. It hasn't been quite 24 hours. But my resin is still rather soft at this point. Now we're going to move this mold out of the way. And we're going to grab the other one and get it out of this mold as well before we do any type of reveals. That one came out pretty good. Like, it looks pretty smooth on the back. I got a little bit of overpour there. I love both of them equally. I really do. You'll have to let me know which one's your favorite. Do you prefer the blue rocks with the glitter or the purple gravel? I really wanted to do a different color. I really wasn't doing purple to begin with, but that blue, I wasn't wasting it, so purple's her favorite color as well, so the purple worked out. It worked out great. But I did want to go with red. Red was my original plan. And I'll show you why in just a minute. But here's the first one. Look at that. Look at that. How cute is that? If I can get it focused for you guys. There we are. Look at that. Aren't they cute? You can see that one big bubble on the left-hand side of the photo. There it is. You see that big bubble? I fixed that with some UV resin, and it is beautiful. Has a perfect finish now. But look at this. It is a gorgeous piece. And she loved it. She loved how it came out. I like the blue against the background, because it's got like a cream background. And the blue jeans. Now it's time for this one, guys. Look at this one. The boys. Look how cute they come out. They come out really good too. He has one bubble right under his right eye. They are twins, if you cannot tell. He has, the boy on the right has a bubble right under his right eye, and I've got to fix it. And like I said, just a little drop of UV resin and it was gone. Cannot tell. But that's it, guys. That's all I've got for you today. I really appreciate you sticking around. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day, and we will see you next Friday. Happy Friday.